Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is my fourth attempt to do this voiceover, so if you're actually hearing it, awesome, this actually worked. So in today's video, I've mentioned it in a few previous videos, I'm going to be pre-decorating my pages for August, just a couple, to film and to share with you guys so we can have like a little craft with me video. So if you want to, go ahead and pause, go get your notebooks, and let's do this together. If not, go get a cup of tea and listen to me ramble, because I'm sure 80% of this video is going to be rambling. So I've just picked up some ephemera from the week, picked up some old pages and papers and stuff from my old paper pile, and we're going to get going. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm flipping through here to see how I've designed my other pages so that I don't do very similar designs over and over. I tend to naturally want to design the top left and bottom right, but I'm not doing it this time. There, the magic of editing has shown you that I've taken those old checks and the beautiful stamps that are on the backs of those checks from when they were processed through different banks and whatever. I fussy cut them out because they have different color inks and shapes, and I think they're very cool, and I'm just going to use them as I would use a wooden stamp, just like a decoration on the page. Lucky for me, the checks were yellow, so it gives that extra added texture and loveliness because it's a different color, and I think there's like a tan one or a light pink one as well. I think I'm using one of the light pink ones. But look at that, there's 3 stamps right there, one with pink ink, one with black ink, and then there's like that round one too. So neat. So I've just laid down some waxed craft paper. That is a piece of learn how to use a typewriter textbook, and then of course the check stamps, which I'm still so in love with. I just love them so much. And I'm just going to glue it down using my Prima Planner glue pen that I picked up at Hobby Lobby if you're at the States. I'm sure you can find them online. Just Google Prima Planner glue pen. Say that 10 times fast. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just using more ripped up pieces of paper to kind of decorate where I feel like the paper kind of gives a good look. I really liked this piece of paper. It's an old writing paper pad from like back in like the 40s or 50s when, you know, children would use these books to turn in all of their schoolwork. I think it's really cool. I found it at an antique store and really liked it. So because the ink on the top left of that stamp is there, I'm going to be using these flower stickers and the bottom of this paper. I'll come back to it in a minute after I fiddle with other papers. I wanted to bring that color kind of throughout the whole page. I didn't want it to just be browns. So I used the flower stickers and then the other papers to kind of bring color all the way around the 2 pages to make it kind of work together, kind of give that cohesive, I don't know. I'm not a technical speaker, so it just looks good. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, I really needed to have some of these pages done for the first couple days of August. So when I sit down and do my journaling, I could do journaling for the first week of August, and that's it. Because I just don't have the time to sit down and write every day. And I feel like if I did, I'd probably journal about heavier things and get kind of emotional and deep, and I just can't do that because I share all of my journal spreads on social media and YouTube, and not that I don't love you guys, but I don't need you to be able to read all the deep innards of my brain. You know, it's just, you know, a lot of this stuff is heavy, and I don't want to share that with the world just because I don't want other people to be thinking about my problems. A lot of people out there tend to take that kind of stuff on, and I just don't think it's fair. So we're moving on. I'm using the packaging from a package I got in the mail from My Paper Projects, and I love this girl. She is such a boss babe. She started her business years ago with, like, when I found her, she only had a couple planner stickers and a couple of traveler notebook inserts that she had designed, printed, and put together herself, hand stitched. And now she's like making her own wood stamps, like multiple lines, all the time working on different designs. She's just a boss. So I ordered some of her new ones, and that was the packaging from that. But this particular stamp is from Cafe Analog. It's the new exclusive mood stamp, and it is gorgeous. It was out of stock. It is now back in stock last I checked. I'll link it down below for you as well so you can find it. It's lovely. And this dried flower came with the packaging. So when she sent these stamps out of the first couple, she sent them all over the world to just random people and then her ambassadors. And I'm one of her ambassadors, and mine took forever to get to me. And when it did, the dried flower that she included on the packaging had totally dried and fallen apart. So when I opened it up, all the flower petals had fallen off, and so I used this Tombow Mono glue to glue it down. It's the green bottle, not the blue one. The green one is more tacky glue and not as wet and doesn't seep through the pages like the blue one does. And I'm just using that glue to glue some of the flower petals back onto the tiny little stems that they were on originally. And I think it looks good. I think I did a good job putting it back together. And then I'm just going to use the rest of the little bits that came on the packaging. She hand stamped a bunch of images on the actual box where the address label was, and of course I save every little thing, so I tore that box apart, tore it all off the corrugated part, and fussy cut all those little stamped images out. But she'd also included this embossed sticker right here that I'm going to stick down that says Love for Analog. It's beautiful and I love it. Also, the washi tape on the left hand side with all the red symbols was on the box, and then that registered mail tag on the top there was also glued onto the box. Peeled it off, and I'm going to use it. You just watch. I save everything, you guys. If you decorate a box and send it to me, I'm cutting that box apart. Like, it's gotten to the point now where I even cut apart my stationery selection boxes and fussy cut the little circle post tag that shows where it was shipped out of. I mean, I save it all. So, yeah, I'm moving on to another layout while I let that glue kind of settle down a little bit. That image there on the right with the yellow and the grid thing there, that is actually from a scratch-off lotto ticket. The imaging was beautiful, and I had to save it, so I didn't win, which darn, but great, because I got to cut the ticket apart. And it's just really, really lovely. I didn't expect to like the imaging so much on a lotto ticket, but I did. So I just used some old stationery selection paper. Back when she was using the speckled washi paper, I found a sheet in my stash somewhere, ripped it apart, and I'm putting it down behind the flower to give it some stability, because that stem, is going to make it really difficult to journal and write there. So I'm just going to put paper over it so I don't even attempt to write on that spot. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I am finding where I want to put this placement, because it's kind of a bigger piece of ephemera, but I have to use it. It's so lovely. And the spots that are yellows still are spots that I didn't have to scratch off, that like, because it like tells you which image to scratch. You scratch, and then it tells you what image to scratch, and you scratch the image, and if you get 4 in a row, then you win. Very complicated. But yeah, so I'm going to end up putting it right smack dab in the middle to re-stabilize. Is that even a word? I'm going to stabilize the spot where the flower is, just because I really don't want it to fall apart. I don't want to write over it this, that, and the other thing. So I'm creating a little cluster here with postage stamps and a ripped piece of paper and that lotto image, and I really like how it turns out. I don't, however, like... What am I doing with my fingers? That's the weirdest thing. I should have edited all of this out. So, I'm going to cover the bottoms right there, because the edges of that paper are so like stark, and I just want it to kind of blend in with the page a little bit better. So I fix it, but first I'm going to glue all these things down, which I overcomplicate things probably way too much. I'm sure there was an easier way to do all this, but this is how I did it. And I could have edited all of this out, but I wanted you guys to feel like you were here with me. You can see my process start to finish. You can see that, you know, I'm human and I do these things and I second guess myself all the time. So that registered tag right there I'm gluing, it had adhesive on the front of it from where it was taped onto the box, and then on its travels to me, the adhesive from the tape stuck onto the thing, and I'm rubbing it off right there. But I had to glue it down in order to rub the adhesive off of the front, or I would have torn it. So unfortunately, most of it is hidden behind the thing. So this is a little container that I have on my desk that's just got a bunch of really small pieces of ephemera that I get in the mail. Postage stamps, stickers, just the most random things ever. But it's all super cohesive. I know I can just go into that and pull out some pieces and it will go with whatever I'm working with, which is exactly what happened here. I think all of my pen pals, I've got over 45 now, which is totally mind-blowing to me. But I think they all work together and they're like, I'm going to send Skylar this and you send her that, and it will be like cohesive. And it just blows my mind that everything everybody sends me works so well together, and I just love it. So yeah, tangent, rant, moving on. I'm going to glue down this faux postage thing. It was from a piece of letter paper that I also had gotten from a pen pal. I liked the imaging better than I liked the paper, so I just fussy cut the image out and glued it in behind there. And I really like the way it turns out. It doesn't leave a whole lot of room for journaling, and I may not even journal on that right side because there is a lot going on there, and I really want to protect that flower. I need to get over that flower, but yeah, I'm liking how everything is going. I feel like the base of all these pages is really looking good. I'm going to go in now and add the ephemera from, the first couple days, which the first thing here is this my Paper Projects stamped image from the packaging. And then I'm going to actually stamp out the images from the stamps that I purchased. So these first three I actually purchased from her shop. And then I have another two that I purchased from one of my pen pals that was from my Paper Projects as well, just an earlier line of hers. And I got them both within like days of each other, and it just felt like a sign that they were all meant to be with me. I sound ridiculous. I need more sleep. So these particular stamps are from her Love Line 1 and Love Line 2, or Love Letters 1 and Love Letters 2. The ones in red are from her Love Letters 1. The ones in blue are from Love Letters 2. Did that totally rhyme? Maybe? Yeah, I like them a lot. I wanted to stamp them for, I don't know, posterity, to show what I'm spending my money on these days. Yeah, I really like how everything's going. I realize in the end that I want to use these little washi things. I can't use all of the tape, so I just fussy cut some of the images out and put them down right there. I like how it looks. After the fact, I added 2 more things. You'll see it on Instagram. But here I'm noticing that the ink has kind of bled through. Come on, Skylar, get it together. Come on, you got it. The ink has bled through on the other side. I've got to cover this up. Normally it does not bother me. This particular day it did. So I've pulled out an old postage stamp, and I'm also going to use a piece of the check that I fussy cut earlier in the video. And the imaging is beautiful. The color is lovely. I'm going to glue it down, and we're going to be super excited about this in the end. This Sunny Sunday notebook is good paper. I just think maybe the ink that I use does not get along with the paper. Who knows? I don't. But I like the way it looks, and I think... Oh, excuse me, I'm so gassy. I think we're going to be done here. So if you have any questions, leave them down below. If not, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.